Hey there, I'm Joe, owner and founder of Beyond Creative. And if you're watching this video, you likely just became the newest member of the Beyond Creative family. We're really excited to have you on board with us. This video, the purpose of it is essentially to walk you through the heart and soul of how we bring dealers more leads and how we're going to help you be more successful. The idea behind this walkthrough is essentially so you learn the concepts of what we do so that we can collaborate better and also understand what involvement, if any, you will have in the process and how you can find information about the new leads that we bring in and whatnot. In this particular video, I am actually doing a screen share with one of our clients. So you're going to hear his voice kind of going back and forth in the background, asking me some questions and whatever may be the case. So just keep that in mind. But essentially, it's a summary. It's an overview of what we do. Again, I want to welcome you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at my email, which is very easy, joe@gobeyondcreative.com. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Mine is going to look a little bit different than yours. I cleaned yours up a little bit so you don't have all this noise.
Okay.
I've got the capacity, to in here, like make the marketing campaigns and all of that. Let me go into the inner workings of it, not to get technical, but just to kind of give you a rundown and explain a little bit of like the process. We just recently added a Google ad trigger. So there is like on your ad account, essentially, let me just show you real quick. So this is relatively new. Google just launched this kind of the beginning of the year.
Okay.
But essentially, instead of like this being a lead that just like lands on your website and then they just come in from there, this is actually like right under where you see the search ad. So like, okay, so like this is the search ad, right?
Okay.
So right under this, you would see, we have one in here that I can show you what it says, but it's like, no payments up to, it's this one, no payments for up to 6 months, what the manufacturers are essentially offering.
Okay.
So then when they click on it, boom, that's what they'll see. Obviously this needs to be updated, but I mean, it's one in the same cross-country cycle, cross-country power sports, but you get the point. They get this lead form, and then this lead form, and this is relatively new from Google. They don't even go to the site. They essentially go directly from the ad. If they click on this, they get here, then they submit the message and they get a success message. And then they get added to like pretty much a campaign, which is a sequence of events. Now it works the same way with Facebook, but the Facebook one I'm not going to go through because I think you've seen videos that I've shown you before on how they work. They essentially get presented the inventory. And when they get presented the inventory and they fill out the form, then the same thing happens. They essentially get added onto the Facebook triggers. Now, there's multiple things that happen right when a lead first comes in, right? The very first thing is you get notified. So the way right now that you're being notified, and same thing with Chris, and and the way that I have it set up is just so you get an email like, hey, Alex, here, you have a new lead. That does not mean that they've had obviously any kind of engagement to this point. But simultaneously, what also ends up happening is that they get added to the sequence. Now, the sequence, which is in the marketing campaign, I'm going to show you a little bit of what it looks like. It's going to have a voicemail. Right now, the voicemail's empty. But once it's in there, it's essentially going to be something kind of generic where it's saying something like, hey, this is Joe at Cross Country Power Sports. Thank you so much for browsing our inventory on Facebook. We want to make sure that all of your power sports questions are answered. Give us a call, blah, 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 blah. And that phone number is essentially a tracking phone number that if they call, it'll go into the contacts record that they called. And then we can actually even hear the call and everything to kind of see the quality of the lead or whatever the case may be. Now, this is something that's called a ringless voicemail, meaning that it won't actually ring the cell phone of the person. It'll just, sometimes it'll actually ring a little bit, but essentially, because it kind of has to, and most cell phones don't pick up on that first ring, and you don't even hear it ring, and it goes to voicemail. So that's the way it works, essentially. So once they become the lead, if they're doing it like at 2 a.m., the sequence won't get kick started till 8 a.m. the next morning, essentially. And what'll happen is, because, you know, we don't really want to bother people, even if they're browsing at that time, we don't really want to send them a voicemail, an email, and a text message. They get entered into the sequence. And the first text message that goes out is, thanks for requesting more info about our inventory on Facebook. Which motorcycle do you like most so far? So the idea there is to try to get them engaged, you know, to see if we can get a reply. If you get somebody that on the form, like on the Facebook one, for the Google, we don't have a space to put what model. But if like on Facebook, I've seen some answers that are like, what motorcycle are you interested in? And somebody fills in some bullshit answer like, you know, someone's mother. You know, like,
or they just say like yes. Or like,
exactly. Then that's a good, I think, barometer for us to gauge the BS level of that lead, you know? If the person takes the time to be like, yeah, 2015, blah, 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 you're like, oh, okay, this dude's a little bit more, you know, serious. So likewise, you know, with people replying on text, if they reply right away, that typically will be a good indicator if they reply to the first message, that's like more of a hot lead, somebody that may be a little bit more serious, kicking less tires, you know? The emails don't get replied to nearly as much, but essentially, you know, they get something very similar via email. The reply rate is much lower on the email. Now, the sequence in general, when we go back to it, we just literally started the Google one, so it's not going to be, oh, this one's not for cycle. There's no Google one. It's for cross country. But see, if you look on here, this is a pretty good reply rate. This is almost a 20% reply rate. I think power sports may be getting a little bit better. It may be doing like 22%. So out of like 307 people that we've added in one way, shape, or form, you know, 54 of them have replied. Of course, some of them, which I think is the lesser percentage, so probably about a 10 or 15% of those 54 that have replied, you know, please take me off your list, don't contact me anymore, or whatever. So essentially, just to put it in a nutshell, to wrap it up, the progression of the campaign kind of continues on probably for about a period of about, I would say, about a week and a half to try to get these people engaged, up until they've gotten about, you know, 6 text messages and 5 emails or so. And the emails are, you know, I think when you get to a certain point, it's like, are you still looking, you know, does it make sense to touch base? Again, it's just very much trying to get them to get engaged, you know. But yeah, so you get an idea of the flow right now. And this is going to pertain to how you can actually manipulate the leads depending on the kind of feedback that you get. So like the campaign is set to like right here, stop on response. It's not set to that. So meaning that even if they reply back, we'll still continue to hit them up. Now, we can set this so we just stop it. The only downside to that is if they don't get followed up, if a lot right now, you know, probably about an 80 or 85% are replying positive, saying, yeah, I'm still interested, or yeah, I'm looking for this model, or I've heard a lot of replies on like, hey, I'm looking for somebody that speaks Spanish, you know? Few of those. And I actually got with Chris, he gave me the contact of the sales manager for the youth.
I forgot Henry speaks Spanish.
Henry, yeah. So what I'm going to do is if I see any of those from my end, I'll just quickly reply and I'll be like, hey, reach out to Henry. Here's his email or whatever. So anyways, the reason why I'm showing you this on stop and response is because give me some feedback from your end. If you think that, you know, we could just have it stop on response, and just let me know. I can switch that back to on, okay? Now,
no, I think that's good. The only thing, so what I need to make this all go, right? So my job is, what I want to be able to do is see exactly what you're pulling up. That's what I want. That's exactly, and I just got an email that said this guy just called the store.
Yeah, okay. So within the triggers, the way that, so the first trigger that you'll get is like, hey Alex, there's a lead, right? But then if the lead replies via text, then right now you're not getting copied on it because you were getting bombarded. But this is just on here just so I can have your info, because right now I'm the only notification. But right here in here, I would add yours and put your phone number, your Google phone number, and then you will get notified. And this essentially says a lead has replied to our follow-ups via SMS. See their info below. This tells you what they replied with. This tells you their contact name, and this tells you their phone number. So just so you know, DealerLeadPro is going to have an app and Chris was asking me about this. DealerLeadPro in a few months is going to have an app where
that'll be much better.
Exactly. And then you can have everything right then and there, and you don't have to necessarily have it, to like, oh, it's coming into your text message and then you're replying back on your own personal.
Is there any way I can have that that's coming to my email anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, this one is not because it's SMS, but like if they reply via email, then you will get an email. But again, email is kind of like the lesser percentage of people that actually reply via email. Most of them do SMS.
But there's no way to get the SMS notifications sent to my email?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Let's do that, because that's much less. Because I got to end up putting my phone on D&D like at 10 o'clock at night because it's blown up with all these pings.
Yeah.
And then I'm missing like personal calls and personal text messages, and that's where it gets frustrating.
Right. That's fair enough. I could take care of that relatively quick. So I'll do that right after the call.
Yeah.
Essentially, all it's going to be is, as a matter of fact, I could even do it right now. I would add here action, and then I would say, send email. And, here it would just say, like Alex, a lead replied.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah. And then, so now here,
because when I'm doing this, when it comes into my Google Voice that I'm still looking at on my phone, right, when I'm not working, it's coming in, and then I'm like, all right, Google Voice, then I'm looking at my laptop, then I'm looking at my desktop, and it's like, it'd be so much easier if I could just open my email, see the guy's name, and then call him right there. So this is perfect. This is
perfect.
Is good.
All right, cool. So I'll do that. Yeah, see, this is not, I'll just get it done now. And then, so you're going to get an email, and then just to try to make it convenient for you, of course, you can always log in. As a matter of fact, I can even put it in the email for you so that you could just have the link to log in to DealerLeadPro.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. There you go. So then now that's going to give you the link right there. So you could just click it. You'll have the message body, the full name, and the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so here, perfect. And this is going to be info at crosscountry.messageflow.com. Okay. So, okay, perfect. All right, cool. So then we just added, you know what? And then if you have quick access to your email now, just send a quick test.
Let's see.
And then you should.
Got it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So, all right, cool. So now you're going to get when they reply either via email, when they make a phone call, or when they reply via SMS, you're essentially going to get a notification saying, "Hey, Alex, somebody replied to our follow-ups," essentially. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the process. That's the way the process works. You get notified when a lead comes in. You get notified when there's engagement to the follow-up campaign. Now, as far as like for you to see what stage they're on and all of that, right? There's two main sections where you have to concern yourself once you go into DealerLeadPro. The main one is going to be right under here under contacts. Mm-hmm. So if that, let's say you have a phone number and you want to look up, or you have a name, you just go here under contacts. And then here on the search, you could either put in the name, you can put in the email, or you can put in the phone number, and then you can pull them up. Once you click into them, you're going to get the whole shebang of information with regards to like what we've sent them, what they've replied, etc. So like here, for instance, this person Patrice, we have sent them a text message and we have sent them this email. And then you could see here the lead source is Facebook form lead, and then you can see that their active campaign is the Facebook lead follow-up motorcycles. When you hit that X, what that's going to do is like, if let's say for instance, you know that this was a serious buyer and that now the team is entertaining, like pulling their credit, and you're going back and forth with them. You don't necessarily want to keep, the system keep on following up with them. So all you'd have to do in here is just, okay, I want to see blah, 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 they're coming in, X them out of the campaign, and then you're good. So that's like when to get the details of where the lead came from, blah, 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 blah. Now, there's another cool option here that's kind of a quick overview. You're just logging in, you're checking the contacts or whatever. When you go to conversations, which would be the first or second option you'll get right here on the top left, now you can kind of see on here, either under unread, you can go to all of these recent or all. Mm-hmm. You're going to get the whole message flow here. It's even including like the Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
I don't mess with the Facebook Messenger ones because I know a lot of them are also coming in from like the Facebook Marketplace. But what's really cool about this app is that it gives you the capability to centralize all of the communication. So for instance, let's say you get that notification saying that somebody replied to you via SMS. You do not have to reply to them via your own via your own cell. What you can do is, like, let's say, for instance, this person right here, Fabian, we hit them up here and it says, thanks for requesting more info. They look like they're engaged because you see within the same day, they replied back with a model and everything. Our system, sent them a follow-up text a few days later. It looks like he may have replied. Yes, yeah. So he's definitely very engaged, right? Still waiting on prices, the APR. So the cool thing is from here, you see this option right here that says SMS or email. You can send them an SMS directly from here, from the app. Now, when the app comes out, you're going to be able to do it from the app too. So you don't have to use your phone. And this phone number that they've been replying to, which is this tracking number right here, the 73724, is going to be where they're going to get the text message. If they were to call that number back, it essentially just forwards directly to the store number. Okay. And then you can also write an email from here as well. So, here obviously you would, I think your information may actually auto-populate here because it's according to user.
Is there any way to split up Power Sports and Cycle so that Cycle goes to me and Power Sports goes to Chris, or no?
Yeah, it's already done that way. Okay. So like right now, and I only gave you access to Cycle to make it easy for you. Chris has access to Power Sports. So check this out. So this is, split up between Cycle and Power Sports. So like Chris sequences are different. So like you're getting, of course, I get the feeling that people kind of still cross between the two.
Yeah, definitely. That's fine because I can sell those now too. So I'm starting to sell those now too. So we'll just make it work.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as like DealerLeadPro goes, you're split up pretty clean between cross country, cycle, and power sports. Okay. If you need me to separate anything else, just let me know. The Facebook Messenger thing, I'm pretty sure it's just, it's a Facebook related thing. Let me show you something real quick. So here, let's say for instance, okay, this guy right here replied no. So this is a good example. Are you still shopping?
We'll get rid of him.
So right here, I might have already taken him off actually. Yeah, he's not on active campaign. So you see I removed him. You could just say here, okay, mark is red.
Got it.
This guy right here, for instance, says no thanks. Okay, so it looks like I removed him here from this campaign too, marked as red. But see this one? Let me see. No, so all of these have already been removed. I guess I must have done that. But like, so I wanted to see, essentially the campaign will show up here and you just exit out and you're like, okay, they're saying wrong number. Like this one, for instance, you could like see here DND. It means not disturb. Well, you know that because you said yeah. So when you hit DND, this essentially means you're not going to get any marketing campaigns at all. Okay. No matter what in the future. And we don't want that because this is a wrong number. They're not, you know what I mean? So for whatever reason, that is just,
Yeah, like I've had some people that I called and they're like, what? No, I'm not looking for a bike, or they're confused or whatever. So then I take that number, search it, and then remove it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Keep in mind, some people, you still don't want to market to them anyway because clearly there's no serious interest. Yeah. But don't be thrown off by some of those people. Some of those people will be such tire kickers that they were just like scrolling through and they're like, ha ha ha, and they just put in their information and then they actually get a call back and they act stupid and they act surprised, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. So, you know, so I was just gonna say, in case you've never come across that, like, don't be surprised. But all right, cool. So yeah, man, that's all I gotta show you. I think for now. If you have any other questions, I mean, you see here, like, you know, this guy, you know, he's talking about, you know, he's giving a price, you know, talking about the Ducati Scrambler. So you could kind of really go through here and get like a good vibe for who's interested and who's not. So.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. This is what I needed to see. This makes everything better. Just makes it a little less frustrating when we're chugging away for a whole day.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I think we're good, man. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, man. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't feel like you're bothering me or anything. Just hit me up, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome, Alex. Thank you for your time, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Joe. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
All right. Safe, man.